Good morning, how are we all doing? It's a very good morning, although very early. Beautiful sunrise just happening behind us, so we might just catch that in a sec. But a little bit of a spontaneous random one this week. I've got this thing where my body clock thinks it's 4:30 and work every day, 7 days a week, even weekends. So I've woken up and I've decided to come out and do what I sometimes do in winter when the River Trent's flooded. I'm down at River Trent, by the way. See, I tell no lies. We're down at Torksey, so I'm going to go and stop off and have a bit of a wander along various places and see just how low the Trent is during this heat wave, not officially in drought part of the UK yet. So that's what I'm going to do. I've armed myself with a questionable cup of coffee, and I'm going to stop off at 4 or 5 various points and see what the river is exposing at low. It's not quite low, full low tide yet, but it's definitely low. So our first stop is Torksey Island, and usually this definitely isn't as low as this. In fact, if I walk up here, there's bits of the Trent that you very, very, very rarely see exposed. So if you've seen any of my other videos down here, the winter ones where the Trent's flooded, it's flooded like that fence. Oh, the rabbits down there, there's hundreds of them. Well, that big tree is there. There's a bit of a bank up to those houses, and it's flooded right up to that bank, so you can see the distance it goes. But just past that point there, where there's all that exposed mud and rock. The other day there was actually 2 boats stuck on there. My friend sent me a picture. Again, you can see, you don't always get to see all this. Obviously, it's exposed timbers here, and the mud bank, and that solitary seagull up perched on that bit of steel there. So yeah, this video is very much not researched, on the cuff, and see what we can see as we go. I'll get the drone up in a sec because it looks like it's going to be a lovely sunrise. It is the most beautiful. There is bonus points to be up at this time of the morning because it's absolutely stunning. There's not hardly a breath of wind. It's nice. It's actually warm, really warm. Shorts t-shirt trainer today. That seagull's loving it, and there you can see it's absolutely flat calm. Nature just waking up. Got West Burton over the way. That's due to come down anytime soon. So there'll be videos on that, as we did with Cotton, which used to live just over there. Yeah, the river's very, very low. We're not quite at low tide. I'll have a look at the tide times in a sec. But anyway, come on, listen to me waffling. Let's go and have a look. It's incredible how dry everything looks. It's like walking through a field of straw. It really is. So I think we've not had any rain up in this part of the world. Easily 6 weeks, 2 months, easily. We're not officially in drought up in Lincolnshire, but it's not far off. It's as drought can be without being official, I think. A beautiful viaduct, look. For those that don't know, it once carried Lincoln Sheffield Railway. Lincoln going that way, and Sheffield that way. Let's have a look down here. I can just see a little bit of mist. I love that. I absolutely love that. I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, just look where that mud line is and above the water, just the mist coming up off the water. Love that. It is so peaceful this morning. So usually there's some cows knocking around this area, as there is in a lot of places along the Trent, and obviously the cows have to drink, and this is what's known as a cow drink. So a cow drink is somewhere quite flat where the cows can come and have a drink. It's quite self-explanatory really, but there's loads of little bits like this where it's just mud, you sink. A pointless bit of information there, but that's those rocks and that mud there. You don't get very often see that. Yeah, you're definitely low. Right, so a few people have been asking in videos how to suss out the tide. It's dead easy. It is dead easy. Find out the tide time for Hull King George Dock. Then there's a difference of about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So we can see for today, look, next high tide, Hull King George Dock, 9:10. So you can add 4 hours. If you're at Cromwell Weir, the very top of the Tidal, you can add about 4 hours, 4.5 hours to that. So you're looking at sort of 1:45 this afternoon for your next high tide at Cromwell. And it's the same with the low tide, add 4 hours. And obviously, if you're sort of halfway between Hull King George Dock and Cromwell, half it, so 2.5 hours, 2.25 hours, something like that. But you get we've got the live tide at the minute, so it's rising at the minute. Look, really simple graph to follow, dead easy. So our next high tide here at Torksey, 9:10, about 2 hours, 9, about 11:10, half 11 time. So we've still got another couple of hours of falling yet. It'll fall a little bit. It's just going through nice and gentle at the minute. I can see this being one of those videos where I'm just waffling nonsense. Hey, stick to what you know. Stick to what you know. More coffee, I think. I cannot tell you how peaceful this is out here now. It's absolutely beautiful. It's crazy though, isn't it? The first couple of days of August already. Wow. Where's the year going? It only seems a couple of days ago it was July. There's another 4 weeks, we'll be into autumn. Best time of the year. Best time of the year. Although this is giving it a run for... Oh, there's the cows over there, look. I don't know if you can make them where that bank just drops down. So we'll not go down there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to launch the drone up, see what this sunrise we can see. And then I think I'm going to go. We'll go to Dunham, I think. We're going to have a look at Dunham, I think. So yeah, I'll get the drone up and I'll see you there. Right, so we've made it down to Dunham Bridge. The infamous, well, it's been infamous over the past week or two. 70 pence now to get over that. So if you're local to the area, you'll know it's been in the news. Because the whole world kicked off about having to pay an extra 20 pence to cross over. Are you one of those people? Do you use it every day? Heaven now, look. Haven't had enough of me talking. I love this. This is one of my favourite bits of the river. This. I used to come fishing down here when I was a kid. Spent days under this bridge down there. You used to be able to fish all the way down here. You used to come here and you could not get a spot along here, even super early in the morning. It used to be absolutely rammed. Now there's a couple over there, a couple of cars over there, so I assume there's a couple of night anglers down there. Yeah, it used to be brilliant for fishing. There's loads of fish, little fish topping. Cast right out there into that slack water where the bridge is there. Brilliant. So much of my pocket money in there in lost fishing tackle. It's unbelievable. I'm going to head that way in a sec. Let's have a wander down here. I've covered this little area here. This actually used to be like a little marina. I've covered this in another video. It's in if you head onto my channel onto the playlist, I believe it's the Torksey to Dunham Bridge River Walk. I'll cover this. So boats used to come up here underneath this bridge and do a little bit of trading. It's so weedy. And you can see all the weed. I could waffle on about this river for yonks. I really could. I really could. So down there we've got Lauterton, about 3/4 of a mile down that way. It's the old, just underneath that tree there, there's a seagull perched on some timbers. I don't know if that's an old fence or where, just over the road there, just over the river there, sorry, there's a little bit of a causeway. That was the old ferry before the bridge got built. The old ferry road. Again, another one of the places along the Trent utilising a ferry. I told you this video was going to be nothing but waffling, but if you stuck with it this long, stick with it for another 1/4 of an hour. You know you want to, don't you? So if the magic of YouTube brought you here for the first time, welcome. Welcome to my wafflings. Yeah, welcome to me talking about my favourite river, one of my favourite places in the whole wide world, the River Trent. Looks like they're doing a bit of work over there, some scaffolding up. I think they've just put that up to justify putting the price up an extra 20 pence, just to show willing a little bit. Got a little bit of flow, not much. Flowing down out to sea. You know, I get some random things washing up in this river. The old knuckle breaking gates. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna ever fix these. Look at this, you can't even. Hey, what the hell? To be honest, I thought there'd be more people fishing. There's only a couple of cars there, and I'm not quite sure where they are. But I think as we head down towards Cromwell, the weir, it'll be more busy. Let's have a look. Let's go and have a look. Morning, sheeps. There's too many of these thistles around on my bare legs for my liking as well. Oops. No, I should have put boots on. Whoa, I went in then. Absolutely calm and peaceful as you like, apart from that road. Nothing beats being by water. Right, I think now I'm going to head down to about another 5 mile down river. I think we'll stop off at Girton. It's not very often we stop off at Girton on these little videos, so we'll have a nosy there, and I'll catch you down river. Alright, so we're at Girton. I'm just heading down this track towards the river. The river's just down there. I've bumped into a bailiff. There's some fishing lake, Girton Fishing Complex, sailing club just down there. Just bumped into the bailiff. He's absolutely fuming. He's there picking litter up. And when I mean litter, I'm talking chuck away barbecues, laughing gas canisters, just usual crap. Chairs, plastic garden chairs that people have just left. When are we going to learn? It's unbelievable. There's just no words, is there? And he says it's like it every weekend throughout the summer, and he says he's dreading it the next sort of month, 6 weeks, over school summer holidays and that. He said it's rubbish. Excuse the pun. He said it's an absolute nightmare. Every weekend is the same. People just leaving the shit. When are we going to learn? Take it home. The disrespect we've got for our countryside is unbelievable. It really is. And when are those chuck away barbecues going to get banned? And the people not watch the news, the amount of wildfires and things that's happening at the minute, everything's bone dry, and you've got knobheads using chuck away barbecues. It beggars me, honestly, it riles me so much. And you've got people like that, volunteers, who have to come out at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning to clear all your shit up. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. We've got to do better. I don't know how. Education, but he was saying even there's been people wild swimming in them lakes. Now, I know we've all seen the news, haven't we? All these young kids drowning and that. We've had two young lads in Lincoln, just 10 miles away, drowning over the past couple of months. And he's tried telling them, but they're not have it. They just give him abuse. They give him shit. Now, how's he going to feel if he comes down one morning to clear other people's crap away? He looks out into the water and he sees, God forbid, a body in the water because they've not listened to him. People don't realise these sorts of things. I don't even know what to say. It's just, we've got to do better. We've got to listen to what people like that, they'll come out and they'll try and help and they'll try and make it better for everybody, and people just take the piss. They just absolutely take the piss. I don't know. People are just not bothered no more, are they? Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Or a very small segment of society actually give a shit. Like that bloke down there. We've got to do better, people. We really have. We really have. Anyway, Girton. Super low. Got a special guest. Got a grasshopper. So what do you reckon then? What do you reckon to it all? What's life like in grasshopper world? Oh yeah. Weird looking things, aren't there? Brilliant, isn't it, nature? You go down and do a bit of grasshopping, mate, go on. And he's away. And away. Right, let's talk about this. There's something to talk about. For all you anglers, closed fishing season. The most outdated, nonsensical thing ever. Right, I'll tell you why. So March till June. So in that 3-month period, river fishing, you're not allowed to river fish during close season. Primarily in order to protect sort of fish stocks during spawning and stuff. But when the fishing season starts again in June and hot weather comes for summer, there's a very strong case for argument that that's far more dangerous for fish stocks, for people fishing in low oxygenated water and all that sort of stuff, and when fish are still spawning. There's a lot of people arguing that it should be, especially with things like I'm going to say it, climate change, because whether you like it or not, it's a thing. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, there's argument for bringing it or pushing it forward. So over the summer months when it's really hot, when there's low oxygen levels, and some of the fish are still spawning, and I think that would be a good thing, personally. As an angler, I think it should be from maybe, I don't know, maybe end of April, so May, June, July. What do you think? If you're an angler, let me know in the comments what you think about the fishing season. Should it be changed? That's a proper big sweeping bend. It was right round. A bit of a hairpin. A little bit like Morton Corner near Gainsborough. Makes you wonder, although, and back in the day, all those big barges that used to come down the river, I bet it took some skill to swing it around these real tight, sharp bends. Right, let's have a wander down here. If I can manage to not get nailed. I know I should have put my boots on. Never mind. We'll suffer. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. Now last week I did the last little bit of the Tidal Trent walk. So if you're not familiar with my channel, one of the little things I've got going on, I'm walking the full length of the Trent. Not in one hit, I'm doing it in little segments. So last weekend I completed the little bit of last little bit of the Tidal, and I spoke about all the silt and how mucky coloured the water was looking. Well, if you come 20 miles upstream, we've got this nice gravelly bottom. It's pretty clear. You can just see the weed doing its thing down there. So a lot of this area around here used for gravel extraction. I'll get the drone up in a bit to be able to see. We've got dirt and gravel pits, like I said earlier on, just down there. And you can see even on that far bank, speckled with gravel, all like this. It really is beautiful. It really, really is. Right, I'm going to chuck the drone up, and I shall see you all. Where should we stop next? I think we're going to stop at Home. We're going to stop at Home Village, which will be on a non-tidal. Then we'll have a walk down to Cromwell Weir, which with the water being so low should look quite spectacular. Not that it doesn't anyway. Yeah, next stop will be Home. I think that'll be it then. I think we'll go from Home to Cromwell Weir and have a wander around there, and that'll be us. Right, I'll catch you all soon. Right, so we've just come through the village of Home, just back there. I'm heading down towards Cromwell Lock. I'm just tightening this up before it falls off. There we go. Live TV, eh? Who do it? So the river is just down there. We're going to pick it up just around this corner. And hopefully the weir is going to look even more spectacular than usual due to the low river levels, but we shall see. And it's probably going to be busy, full of anglers, I would have thought. I think there's a match going on down here at some point. I've just passed a long line of about 10 or 15 of them. So this is Home Marsh, this area here, the bit just above the weir. We're actually on the non-tidal now. Not that you can see, it's the Trent's down there, trust me. So how long we all thinking this hot dry spell's going to last then, aka summer? You gotta admit, it's extraordinary, isn't it? It's just relentless. It's not rained for about 2 months. It's not just warm, it's red hot. It's weird, isn't it? I mentioned earlier those two controversial words, climate change. What side of the fence are you on? Is it a thing? Personally, yeah, without doubt, but, and it's a big but, and this is where people are getting knocked off with it, I think. It's been, and I'll choose this word very, very wisely, it's been sold as something different. And what I mean by that is, I'm talking pushing solar panels onto farmland, all this net zero nonsense, and it is nonsense. We've all got to do a bit. We all have. The world's a different place to what it was even 10-20 years ago, isn't it, in terms of people's attitudes towards waste, energy use, all that sort of thing. But if you spend any time outdoors, any significant time outdoors, or even if you don't, it's there, it's obvious that the facts are there. Summers are getting longer and hotter, drier. Winters are getting wetter, milder. I mean, when you got to look at turn the TV on now. We had that big wildfire in Sussex. I think was it Sussex? Near Ipswich. We've had fires, Wales, Scotland, obviously Peak District, France, was it near Marseille? A lot of that massive wildfire there, Spain. I mean, these are hot countries obviously, but there's something in there. How much is man-made? How much is the Earth's natural cycle of things? Who knows? But without getting too political, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. But as I say, it's being sold because where there's an opportunity to make money, people will grasp it with both hands, won't they? Here in Lincolnshire, they're pushing solar panels on the farmland and in massive solar farms, not just a couple here and there. They're the massive things. Why is it that solar panels aren't put on new builds in the building regs? I know there's got to be energy compliant and certain things and that, but why is it not a necessity to put solar panels on a new build? Make it make sense. Why is massive car parks in buildings and factories? Why have they not got all solar panels on? I know some of them have. We have at work. My place has got solar panels on the roof. But why would you want that? Take this farmland here. This isn't designated for. But why would you want to put solar panels on something like this? I know farmers have got to diversify and all that sort of stuff, but when they're getting a big fat wad of cash wafted in their faces, I think, especially farming nowadays, are going to be hard pushed not to take it, aren't they? I don't know. It's just, as I said, where there's an opportunity to make money, regardless of what it is, people are going to do it, aren't they? And that's what it's come to. That's what it's being pushed. And that's why people are getting knocked off with people going on about it. It's just a cash making scheme for people. But that's just my opinion. Like getting too political on a channel, because that's not what it's all about. But as someone who spends a lot of time outdoors, you notice things. You notice things. But anyway, that's just my opinion. That was a party political broadcast by the Taking a Walk with My Best Friend party. If you wish to rewatch it, you can do so on iPlayer, blah 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 blah, etc etc. Right, back to the river. So I'm just approaching the non-tidal entrance to Cromwell Lock. I can just hear the weir. It's very near, and just over here it will become very clear that clearly I'm a poet and I didn't know it. How's that for Sunday morning poetry? This is another lovely bit of the Trent, this. Oh, it's very weedy. Look at this. Heaven. It's difficult to tell just how low it is up here, actually. I'm assuming. God, that's so shallow out towards those weeds there. You could probably walk out to the edge of those weeds. I'm assuming that the river's usually up to somewhere down here. Normally. It's not very often I get up this bit, so I can't really tell just by experience and eye. But the weir's just down there. There's the barriers to stop craft going over. The entrance to the lock's just down there. The actual lock's there, and then obviously down below the weir you get onto the Tidal. Right, Collingwood Weir, hope you can hear me. It's very loud. A proper drop on that today. And you can see how low the river is, look, that exposed gravel bank there. And there's literally a thin strip, maybe, I don't know, it's like 10 metres, 15 metres if that, between the two gravel banks there. Love this, there's a smell. The water churned up, there's a particular smell, if you know what I'm on about. Brilliant. Silt and deep water. Da, 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 da. And on that musical note, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to head back to the car and I'm going to get some breakfast because it's still quite early. It's only 25 to 10. So it'll be brunch. I'm brunching it. Anyway, I digress. As always, thanks for watching. Geese, what more do you want? Yeah, as always, thanks for watching. And if you've liked the video, whatever this video turns out like, I don't know, give it a thumbs up, drop us a comment. I think I've tapped into a few topics on this one. Yeah, drop us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, again, welcome. And if you haven't already, please consider dropping it a subscribe for more of whatever this is. And lots more to come in the autumn. There's going to be lots in the autumn. So the next few months are going to be very, very busy. Lots of good stuff. Well, I think it's good stuff anyway. I'm going to enjoy it. Hopefully you lot do too. Anyway, I'm waffling. So from a very low River Trent over there, and a wonderful RSPB nature reserve over there, I shall bid you all a good day. I'll catch you all very soon.